No judgment today. I can explain. I know the hair's not here, guys. I can explain. Well, I don't know if I can explain. It's an interesting one. I'm not really sure if I like it yet. It was like a somewhat of an accident, somewhat of me just being like, screw it, let's just do it. But if it's really bad, then I guess I have to go to a wig shop. Anyways, guys, welcome to a roster review stream. It's Saturday. We're gonna do some roster reviews today. Okay, let me explain. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've been going for buzz cuts lately. And usually I could get them done at like the hairdressers. But that's like quite expensive just for like 1 centimeter of hair. Because I get it done like every couple of weeks. So I thought, oh, I was at the gym and I thought I would do it myself. And guys, it was dreadful. I messed it up. I don't know how I messed it up. So I was like, okay, I'll just take it all off. So 2 weeks later, egg mitt? Maybe. I'm glad egg is the only thing. Yeah, guys, you can call me egg mitt today. Dank is a danks. That's so dank, bro. It might be. But yeah, anyway, basically that's the moral of the story, guys. Like, don't try and do things for cheap. Anyways, let's not talk about the haircut today. Let's talk about the reviews. Why is this zoomed in so much? What is this? Give me 1 second here, guys. Hopefully you're all having a good day. I've updated the pinned comment. I tried shortening the link so it actually fit in, and it just didn't work. So I've updated it so you guys can actually see that. I lost my Grand Arena. Pretty sad. I thought I'd won because my opponent got stuck on Leia right at the end. Leia was on the back wall like I showed you guys, and yeah, I thought I'd won, and then they cleared Leia and they won. So, is what it is. We go again tomorrow. Alright, so we're just going to go in order of the review list. I've been updating and time coding and doing all of that stuff. So, if you guys missed the stream or have to go and come back, you can catch up on where you are. If you guys want a link to that one, I will put that link here now. And then if you want to be on the list, just make sure you fill in the form. There we go. That's the link to the doc. If you want to click that, you can at least keep progress or like put it on your favorites or something, because we're going to be using this from now on. I'm putting a link, like literally a timestamp link when I've done your review. Eventually, when we start going through people multiple times, I'll add it in and do like review 1, review 2, review 3. That way you can look at comparisons as well, because if you come up, say, within 3 months and you get 2 reviews, you might be able to see some progress you've made in that time, which would be quite interesting. My opponent took out Leia. Donate to Fun Glows. No, I don't need hair care products, please. Look, my hair grows really quick, guys. I'm not even joking. It will grow back in like 2 weeks, easily. It was literally, I was trying to buzz it a little bit shorter myself. I must have had the wrong setting on or something on my on my clippers, and it just looked so bad. And I was at the gym, so it was like panic mode. I couldn't go out like looking like I had zebra stripes on my head, so I just got rid of it all. Anyways, guys, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna grab a drink and then we'll get going. I know, guys, I know. I feel like I'm gonna have to explain this so much today. There was a reason behind it. Anyways, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Your opponent took out Leia and then left again. Pretty cool. Alright, guys. I also think I've sorted out the music problem. So last few streams I've been using just the footage scene I've got made on Streamlabs, and I think that will only capture BlueStacks. I don't know why I can't seem to add the actual desktop audio, so you guys should be able to hear the main music this time, so I'm not just going to be vibing on my own. Alright, let's get going. Also, just a quick one. How are you guys doing on your eras? I almost have them all at 75, which is kind of my goal. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm not that bothered about going any higher, because, like, I don't think getting Relic 6 from Relic 0 is that expensive these days. I mean, the signal data would be nice, but the rest is kind of cheap. And unless you can really get to, like, 86, like, you're not really... You might end up putting all the resources in, but then, look, you're Relic 1 for, like, 3 levels. I don't know. But that's where I am at the moment. You officially got Chromium next season. Very nice. One thing you'll find out, I don't know if you already know, if you get promoted on GAC, you can only go 1 division at a time. Because on this account, when I was climbing up, basically when I took over from... I explained this before, basically a guildmate retired, passed the account on. When I took over, it was literally like one of the bottom accounts in Carbonite. I was at Kyber Elo, but I was still in Erodium for like a whole season because you only got 1 division, which is a little bit weird, isn't it? Because I've always been of the thought process that if someone's playing the game, you won't really match them in lower divisions. But you could be someone who's inactive, starts taking it seriously, and then you will just get easy matchups for 1 month. Purely because of that. Anyways, guys, we're going to start with Lord of Hunger. Here. Yeah, the rules for the reviews are if you want one, you need to fill in the form. If anyone does do any super chats or anything like that, obviously you get one, but as you guys know, I never encourage you guys to do that. I would rather you guys just sit here, relax, enjoy the stream. And we'll try and get through as many people as possible. If you're new to the roster review streams, then we take like 20 minutes to half an hour per review, because we like to ramble. So just bear that in mind. No matter what happens next, you'll be in Erodium 3 at the end of the season. Nice. No, I mean, Erodium's not bad. And I would say... Obviously, everyone wants to be K1, K2. Depending on your GP, Erodium... I mean, even when I was climbing, I think I had harder battles in Erodium than I did in the very early Kyber. And even on my other account, I've dropped down because I didn't... I've spoken about this before. Last month, I had some stuff going on. So I didn't play as much. And even then, I'm now having tougher battles in Erodium. It's a weird one. Alright, guys. So, first thing that stands out to me, actually, is nice on the era levels. That's pretty cool. More unlocked as well. He looks really good. Everyone is going to be Relic, which is amazing. Wait, is this? I haven't seen Lord of Hunger's account in, like, quite a while. That took me by shock. Alright, so we've got layer R10. I mean, I think this is the first R10 layer we've seen on the reviews, and we've done quite a few now. CR9. Okay. I think I remember you having CR9 last time. Let's sort by relic deltas for a sec. Relic delta, relic levels for a second. Okay. Bad Batch you've done for the raid. To be fair, Bad Batch is also a decent team. I mean, they beat Balin, they beat Reaver, they beat QA very easily. You can beat SLKR in Territory Wars if you have both Omicrons, and you can also beat SLKR without Darkside Ray. I don't know if you're ever going to see that, but if you do, that works pretty nicely. Yeah, you can beat a lot of stuff. This is a really good team. Okay, solid team. It's expensive, and I know it's new and people didn't like it, but it is a decent team. Speaking of era levels, you have Barris at 86. Damn. Barris, I'm going to be honest, of all the kits outside of Maul, Barris is the one that I'm actually really excited for. I want... It's a shame that we can't test them properly, but I'm really feeling excited for them. For a couple of reasons. You got the anti-revives, which is really nice. And the best thing about that is it's not locked. I mean, I can show you guys here. It's not locked by faction. It's on her unique. It just says allies and enemies can't be revived. So if you go up against a team, or even if you're going up against like Ray, or anyone really, and you have like 4 characters who are pretty good, and you just want to bring someone to prevent the revives, it's pretty cool, if you ask me. just as like a plug and play. She might have some utility there. Also, healers tend to just be good on any team. I mean, look, dispel debuffs on online force users. They get health equalization. Obviously, this part is online force user stuff, but it's still pretty cool. I think she'll be a pretty cool plug and play character. I think there'll be some stuff you can do with her for sure. So I'm quite interested by that. But I'm also interested to see what she does with the weaker Inquisitors. That could be pretty fun, but we'll have to wait and see because we're not allowed to test them, which is pretty lame. Okay, so that's your relic levels. Bane's triple Omicron. I feel like that maybe is a bit of a waste. This feels like one of the last Omicrons you should be doing. I mean, even if you run Bane with C, I don't really see the point in that one. You tend to play 7th Sister. That could be nice. That could be nice, especially as 7th Sister can go in so many other teams as well. I can see that. I think the one benefit of 7th Sister though over Barris is you get the evasion up, and that does make a little bit of a difference. But I can definitely see Barris going in there. The only issue, if you just mean GI as in GI on his own and not Reaver, that makes sense. If you're using Reaver, then Barris would kind of stop Reaver from doing her thing and reviving. So you'd have to kind of decide there what you want to do. Strangers at R9. I'm 90% sure the modding is going to change. We spoke about this yesterday in Grand Arena. Someone, I can't remember who it was, came in the chat and said health is the way. I'm not 100% convinced on whether it's health, speed, offense. I think it's one of the three. And I know everyone's, especially because I made the tier list for Conquest units, everyone's been going about this Stranger to me this week in my in the comments and some DMs on Discord. And it's just too early days. Modding will change. Everything will change. Guys, when Bane released, there was different modding, you know. It's like, things do change. If you're far from Reaver, honestly, Barris will be really good. Like she in general, she's really nice. Well, she seems to be very nice to have. Okay. Do you know what we're going to do? Because you've got all the error units. And they're all relic. And you're 12 million GP. Right? So if we're thinking here... Because I'm going to be honest. Lord of Hunger just put Welcome Back Glurmit. There's nothing else here. Just overall, less detailed. Let's use this as an opportunity. I don't like this. Afro at Relic 1. Take it higher. She's a decent character. I'm not saying she's a world beater, but then you've got a decent lifter for her coming, so take her up 100%. But if you're going to get all of these characters unlocked and relicked and whatnot, I feel like you kind of need to make some effort to put a team around them, because they're all decent characters in their own right. So if you look at Stormtrooper Luke, what are you going to want for him? Well, you're probably going to want Stormtrooper Hun is a lock-in. I don't know if you even have this guy. You don't, but he'll be relic as soon as... So don't do anything here. He's going to go to relic as soon as the Rebel Journey Guide event comes. That's going to give you Stormtrooper Han at relics. So that's basically done. Leia's already there. You need to work on her a little bit. Hey, Burrito Express. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Akbar. I feel like Akbar Omi as well, guys, is going to be really, really nice for this team in 5v5. So that's the team we're looking at for Luke. I don't know how good the team's going to be, but you will have it at least. Yes, I can explain. I don't know about it yet, but yeah, I was I have the buzz cut lately, and I tried doing it myself because I didn't really see the point in paying, you know, quite a lot of money to just have 1 millimeter of hair taken off. Because I wanted to keep it nice and like trimmed. So I tried doing it myself, and I either had the wrong setting or I just don't know how to do it at all. I mean, I did watch a video before, but yeah, it went terrible. So I tried to salvage it and then just thought, okay, I'll just take it all off. It'll grow back quick enough as it is. So that's why. I know it's weird. Anyways, I'll be wearing hats for a couple of days. Who do you think I should be using for unlocking Reaver once Barris is available to be used? Thinking GI 9th, 5th, Barris, Marek. Honestly, if you have Marek Omicron, don't worry about it. Anything. Literally anything. Marek Omicron, just hit auto. If you don't have the Omicron, then you would want to I would say run GI. If you don't have the Omicron, run GI 9th, 7th, and then 5th or Barris, one of those. Because 7th is going to be giving you the quicker 6 stacks of Purge. What's my thoughts on Stormtrooper Luke with Leia? I don't. Maybe it would work, but I don't really see it. And the reason being, if I show you the kit, it is, I think it's on here. At the start of each encounter, all rebel allies taunt for 1 turn, and whenever a rebel ally stealths, all rebel allies whenever a rebel ally stealths, all other rebel tank allies taunt. And Leia's a tank, so she can be taunting. And as you'll know, whenever you're hitting her, she's not gaining mastery for the team and decreasing yours. So I maybe it has some synergy, but I feel like you're just forcing them to hit Leia, which you kind of want to be doing anyway. So I'm not 100% sure on that one. If Leia was immune to taunt effects, sure, but she's not. So I don't know about that one. When we can actually test it, we can have a look there. But at the moment, on first impressions, I'm not really seeing it. Okay, we've already talked a little bit about that. What's your Inquisitors like? I'm assuming they're gonna be quite good. Where are they? Yeah, you want more relics for sure. I know you have Reaver, but especially with relic deltas, this is a team that should be going to R7, R8. Have I watched Solo this year? Yeah, no, I haven't. Yeah. At the moment, I'm trying to convince someone to watch the films because they've never seen it before. And we're over the course of 3 months, guys, it's taken me that long. We've just finished episode 3? No, wait, hold on. Sorry, we did episode 4, 5, 6. We did 1, and now we're on 2. But I think 1 kind of killed it because it's a little bit too like, I don't know. I know some people like episode 1, but if you're like not really into Star Wars, do you like episode 1? I don't know. It was kind of a mood kill. That's not to say I don't like it, but for someone who has no interest in it, and then you show them this, and then they're like, oh. Where'd you go from this? But eventually we're going to watch Solo. That's the plan. Merrin. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I feel like my biggest critique here is you've just got so many low relics. They need a little bit of work here. Especially with relic deltas. SM's relic 1. Who else do we have? No Zeta. I feel like we need a Zeta there. If you have Enoch and all of those guys and they're Relic 6, I'm wondering what's going on. Why not at least take them to R7? Then you can do the second to last tier. At least. That's 100% going to be worth it. One thing to note, Leia doesn't like the actual taunt buff. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. You don't want to be putting Leia under taunt, like, at all. Because she just makes her much weaker. She really benefits from everyone else being hit. So yeah, I really don't know. Maybe it turns out Stormtrooper looks good there. I don't know. But just the constant taunting, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. I feel like they may have even... It's unlikely they put that clause in just for her, but it does feel like that might have been something they did. You're really close to Balin. Like, really close. I've just noticed that. You've got... Actually, I should have gone to Mercenaries. So you've got... Where are they? Marek's R5 needs to go to 7. Shin needs to go to 7. And then we've got, what, the Night Sisters? Oh yeah, we're almost there. I would say get Balin over the line. I'm not saying he's the best character ever, but it would help you. Especially when you're like, what, 12.5 mil GP? You don't have all the GLs. Although, you are close. You're only, what, missing Ahsoka and Hondo. Which is not bad. Lord Vader needs at least R8. I would also, I mean, I would always suggest everyone to do this. Take a look at Jaqen and his modding of Lord Vader. He mods for crit damage or offense, one of the two is what he recommends. I think crit damage is the better one. And just give it a go. So, On the account I'm on right now, it's protection speed modded. On my other account, it's crit damage modded. And it's night and day with the difference, guys. Like, one day I will make a video doing the same. I'll try and find the same battle, and I'll do like a split view of the battle and show you guys. But yeah, in that, honestly, crit damage offense, you just do so much more damage. It makes so many battles more reliable. Because the thing is, Lord Vader doesn't need survivability. Especially now with his clone team kind of helping with that, especially Apo and Necron there. And CX in 3v3. You don't necessarily need him to be that bulky these days. And if you give him the crit damage offense, especially with the current Datacron sets, my word, he hits hard. So 100% worth doing. It's really just going to be a point where you need to relic some characters up. I think that's really the biggest thing to be doing here. And then obviously, if you're going to do all of this and spend the money, I think I saw you in the chat the other day saying you did this with crystals, which is, if you did that, that's pretty good in itself. But if you're going to take the investment to get all of these to 75, at least get their teams functioning. So an Afra team. Wookiee team, debatable. I feel like Yoda Tree looks really good, but Wookiee team is probably the one that no one has ready. Asajj feels like a really good character. And a lot of people have Boba. And if you're a TW enjoyer, yeah, you probably already have some Omicrons, have him geared up. So that's also nice to have. And obviously Inquisitors you already have. More will go straight into Stranger Team. And then Stormtrooper Luke's, again, probably the one where... I don't know about that one. I mean, if you're not going to run him with his main team, I don't know where you would put him. That's one where we're going to have to wait and test, guys. Because I'm sure there'll be some teams that Stormtrooper Luke goes really well in. I mean, there's also just the fact that it's Rebels. It's all Rebels benefit. You know, so... Whenever Rebel ally against bonus time meter, you know, they're getting protection up at the start of each encounter. Rebel ally taunts tank. I reckon you could put Stormtrooper Luke in a lot of teams. Look at Young Han. Okay, I'll do it. And then we're going to move on to the next roster. Yeah, that's pretty... I mean, at least you have the Zeta, right? At least you have the Zeta. Let's quickly look at mods and then we'll move on to the next one. How much speed does your Commander Ahsoka have? 370. Okay, nice. So it seems like you have good mods. Let's go have a look at Finn down here. 331, yeah. So you have decent mods. That's interesting. Is that a platoon rec or did you do that? Why would you... I didn't even realize, guys, when I was looking at the relics earlier, I didn't even realize that Jin was R9. Ezra, again, higher relics. Like, definitely. And maybe a bit faster. I would even argue Ezra should be... I would say Ezra should be on par with Cat for speed. Maybe even more important. It makes a big difference. Especially because if you're going to set anything Ezra when you have Glat one day on defense, you don't want to be Great Mothered. And having a fast Ezra shuts that down. So that's something to think about. Other than that, I mean, not that bad. I feel like you need to tweak your mods a little bit. Just try and speed up characters who need speed, slow down characters who don't necessarily need it. But overall, not too bad. All right, let's go ahead, move on to the next one, which is going to be OPS Ghost. Let's go have a look here, guys. Just a reminder, we will be streaming tomorrow for Grand Arena. After that, maybe 2 streams next week, most probably only 1 next week. Alright, let me just double check we didn't do this one. No, we haven't done this one yet. Perfect. Okay. Guys, if you want to see where you are in the queue at the moment, please save the link so I don't have to keep on posting it because apparently I have no mods anymore. This is the spreadsheet. I am updating it after each stream. Just putting in the little link so you can click that. You can see a review. It will be where the review starts. It also just gives you an idea where you are on the queue, and you can also see other accounts and all of that fun stuff. And guys, if you are waiting, please do submit for a review, because if you don't submit and someone else does, and then you're wondering why you never got saw, that's why. So do make sure you do submit. Okay, this one's just an overall one, less detailed. Oh, we got everyone level 80 apart from Maul, which is pretty nice there. Okay, 13.8 million GP. We've got Relic 10 Ahsoka, Relic 10 Lord Vader, which are both really good Relic 10s. I'm a big fan of that. Now, I'm assuming, right, if you are in this position with your aero units, you should be at least top 30. I'm in a pretty big whale shard for my ones, and I'm getting... Now I've got more, I'm pretty locked in for 30, and I've only got them 75. So if you've got them all 80, you should be getting top 30, maybe even top 10. So I'm hoping... Yeah, we've got Relic 10 Trench as well. That's I like that. I like that, just because I'm a Trench fan. That one I don't know. I don't know why you did what Temple. But anyway, yeah, you're getting a lot of Relic 10, so you kind of answered the point I was going to make. Should have sorted by Relic Amplifiers first. Oh, maybe you're just a Trench enjoyer. I didn't even realize. Look at that. What Temple, Newt, Django, Count Dooku, Trench. Okay, you're just a Trench fan. Do you know, I like that. But yeah, I was going to say you should have quite a lot of Relic 10s hanging around here. It's pretty crazy. I didn't even see that one coming. But hey, Trench R10, Ahsoka and Lord Vader are really good R10s. War Tambor is kind of, I don't really know the point of that one. Trench, I'm not gonna say it's good, but I do like it, but it's not good in the grand scheme of things. Like, I would have done Ezra or Darth Revan or JML, you know, one of these before then, or QA, like we spoke about the other day. Anyone who does a summon, automatically decent on the R10s. Zuckuss, I rate that, especially R9. Zuckuss is pretty good. Do you have him modded well, though? You do. Yeah, Zuckuss is a good character. I can't remember if the next Datacron set has TM involved, but if it does, or whenever a Dark Side TM Cron comes out, expect Zuckuss teams to be top tier, guys. Like, when that eventually happens, I'll show you guys some cool tricks with Zuckuss that I've been practicing. It can beat a lot of teams. My only real worry is that for the Zuckuss team to perform the best, you need Fennec and Boba, Son of Django. And obviously, now that the newer Sarge is out, I don't know how that would work, but still, it's a really cool team. Not every team that comes out needs to be like the best team in the world. That, you know, all teams have different places. This needs higher relics. Drogon, Captain Silver needs higher relics, because once he's dead, the team doesn't fall apart, but it becomes a lot weaker. Vader, I'll take up a relic level, at least R8. If you run Empire or Negotiator, I don't know if you ever do that or see that. It's good for Territory Wars, though. But it gives Vader enough speed to deal with the high relic Negotiators, which is even more important now Relic 10's out. Because I'm sure that give it a few months to maybe a year, people will start doing all the pilots. 2R10. Ezra as well. At least R8, R9 would be nice to see. These are all fine. That's fine. This is fine. What's your other Inquisitors like, actually? That could be quite good to look at. Yeah, no need. If you have them all R8, or at least 3 of them, or 4 of them R8, I would have said take Marek up, because you have the Omicron. Well, I don't know why you've got all these Omicrons on those Inquisitors. I don't know what's going on here. Like, that's just strange. Especially when you don't have, like, Drogon, I can understand why you wouldn't apply it. I'm not saying that's a good idea. But there's an argument for and against. The reason against being it makes Reeve a little bit easier. Sorry, a little bit harder, should I say. If you have it, it makes Reeve a little bit easier. Because you're going to be deathmarking yourself. But yeah, that's interesting. Interesting. Savage, Ray to R8 would be nice to see. Stranger, none done there. Maybe you just... I wanted to say maybe you don't like GAC, but you have some GAC on Omicron, so it's a bit strange. I don't really understand that one. If you're going to use Rolo, take her up higher. At least then you get the benefit of the Omicron. I think you just like TW or something like that. Maybe that's why you've done Trench. And like all the TW Omicrons are done, and then nothing else. That would make sense, right? It's an interesting account. I mean, for a 13 mil account, it is looking pretty good. Obviously, like the last one, there's always going to be some teams you need to just take up a little bit because of relics. Or relic amplifiers and all that stuff, relic deltas. But for the most part, it's in a unique roster, let's just put it that way. You know, having an R10... Having an R10 What Tambor. I don't know. I don't know, maybe this is something that we don't know about, right? Maybe you've just got something, you know, some intel that we all crave. Interesting. If you've taken Lord Vader to R10, I wouldn't be against you doing someone like Scorch, maybe, if you wanted to make that team even better. I could see that. Scorch is a really good character. Make him even more bulky. I'm only suggesting that because clearly you have an abundance of R10. I doubt you've just gone and paid. I mean, if you have, then I feel sorry for your bank account. But if you've earned them all, that's a lot of R10s you're getting access to. So, you know, it does make sense. You're also gonna probably get another R10 just for unlocking more, because you get what, 9,000, something like that, tokens for the more unlock at 6-star or 7-star. So you're basically going to have another R10 in the making here. And I don't know what you're going to do next. That's kind of scary. I would like to see you do someone maybe a little bit more meta and not like something else. But you do you, man. I like the account. I know I've seen you around the channel for quite a while, so I'm glad you put in for the review here. No, yeah, I don't think you like Grand Arena, which is weird because you do have some of them like Crosshair Guard. You're definitely a TW guy, which is also fine. But you know, relic deltas do exist in TW as well. Let's have a look at your mods real quick. What's that? Oh, you do have Zeta on Jolie. I was about to say, did you not have any Zetas on Jolie? Scout Trooper is here at 347. Okay, so your mods aren't... I mean, that's fast, don't get me wrong, for Scout Trooper, but the mods aren't crazy. 355. Silvo, 325. So the mods are good. The mods are good, don't get me wrong, but it's not like God tier mods. I mean, just looking through here, I'm not sure I'm 100% on board with the modding. I mean, I would have to... It would take me longer to look. But I feel like there's some tweaks maybe that could be made. You guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of seeing a whole team in one row, basically, of the speed on the characters. Because then you're not moving your mods around enough. Look, in the space of, what, 15 characters, we have 1, 2, 3 Gungans. And the one that should be the fastest is not. Other forms from last week still valid? No, they're all still valid. They're all still valid. That's what I'm going through at the moment. I'm continuing from where we were last time. So the way it's working is I'm going through in the order the forms, the reviews were submitted. And if someone decides to donate or become a member, which obviously I don't encourage you guys to, but the option's there, then you'll just skip the queue, I'll do you, and continue with the queue in order. So that's like how we're running this. Eventually, we will mix it up, do some random ones, but at the moment, there's not enough people in the form to worry about that. So, you are safe. Again, reviews do take 20 to 30 minutes on average, because I like to take longer and actually look at the account. Because I don't think you'd really learn that much. I mean, maybe you would, but if I just went through and went, do this, are you actually going to do anything? And the other nice thing is, when we take it quite slow, a lot of you guys are putting your input in as well. And then we get that extra eye on the roster, making sure that everything looks nice. Okay, Datacrons. Yep, okay. You definitely made some effort there. We'll have to wait and see with the new sets. I don't know. I don't know why we're going back to one set per conquest. That is going to be such a pain. Especially, bearing in mind next set doesn't look that interesting, but if they release one that is, oh man, it's gonna be a pain, guys. Alright, let's go look at the next roster. Thank you for submitting, by the way. Ops Ghost. There we go. I didn't know if it was a Z or I thought it used to be a Z in your name. But yeah, thank you for submitting it. I appreciate it. Alright, let's move on to Thomasmm. There we go. Embo R5 is criminal for a territory. Yeah. I was thinking there were quite a few relics there that were a little bit strange, but Embo needs to be higher. 100% if you're going for TW account. You need Embo to be a little bit higher. Guys, let me just very quickly check that I've done my tickets before we get... I think I have. I haven't. Let me quickly do my tickets, because I'm sleeping today, guys. I have half an hour, so let me quickly jump on and get these done. Real quick, so I don't forget. I've been out all day, so... Even though I've had it on, I was like editing, and then when I wasn't editing, I was actually busy, so... Just completely forgot. 18 shards is nice today. And then let's go and do this real quick. Alright, back to the rosters. Alright, this one we're looking at farming plans. After DTMG for Rook and TW is done, what should I get? Leia, Leviathan, Balin. And after those three, who? Pirate King, Hondo, Galat, or JMK. Also, what team should I take to R8 and R9 for Rogue? Just finished Gungans. Well, guess what? Spoiler alert. Tomorrow's video, or the day after, is going to be a TB video. Oh, wow, good timing, right? Yeah, I've got I recorded it like 2 months ago. I just never had time to upload it. I've got a video dedicated to TB, best teams. They're mainly Omicron teams, but most of them work without Omicrons anyway. So that will probably be worth watching. But we can definitely answer that. If there is one team you should take to R9 for TB, I don't think anyone can really argue with me on this one. Maybe you can. Inquisitors. You take Marek, you take Grand Inquisitor, and then you do any other Inquisitors. And the best thing about this, guys, is if you have Reaver unlocked, you can do Reaver, Marek, GI, and just run anyone else. Run any Empire, any Sith, it does not matter. Those three alone in R9 phases will still fall clear of the waves. So that's how strong Marek's is, and that's why I would definitely do that one. Another one that's really nice, as you have Lord Vader, is Apo's Kron, which you already have. And the reason for this one, guys, is obviously Apo is very much a Lord Vader character. Or lifter. But the really nice thing here, guys, is you get the Order of 66 at the beginning of the battle. So you don't even need Lord Vader. You can run Palpatine, you can run basically anyone. And you bypass all the revives, you bypass all of the other stuff. It's really nice. You can kind of do some other stuff there. You don't have to run it. Obviously, it's better with Lord Vader, but the Omicron allows you to also mess around with some other teams there as well. Another TB Omicron or TB team, because if we're going TB team, you might as well do an Omicron as well, right? Obviously, Hondo, if you're going to do him straight to R9, the team's definitely worth it. Jabba, if you're that bothered, but that I would maybe argue against. But let's come back to that one in a few minutes. Let's go ahead and answer the first question first. So we're doing Leia, then Leviathan, then Balin. Okay. That's a lot to take in. Let's have a look at your Sith. The Sith Empire. We have... Alright, Malgus. I would probably take your Malgus up a few relic levels. Just because you don't... If Malgus's ship dies at any point, you're kind of done for with Leviathan. And his ship isn't that strong unless you have a high relic. Like a relic 5 Malgus is kind of... I don't know what that's really doing for you on the Leviathan fleet. Other than that, obviously Malik, Darth Vader need to go up. Yeah, we'll have a look at the mods in a second. I did see that, but I don't want to get too put off because they've asked me explicitly what to look at for this one. So I don't want to go on too many tangents. I like the Ezra R10. I like the mods on Ezra there as well. R10 Ezra is really nice, guys. Look at this. 28.25% dodge chance. To give you guys an idea, right, of the dodge chance difference, let me quickly go back. We're going to bring this account up in a second. Let me very quickly bring up the last account we looked at. 12.8 needs levy. Yes, but they said they're working on it, so. They said they're working on Leviathan and Leia, so I'm assuming they're probably replacing on R9s. If we go back to the last account, guys, and we bring up Ezra, all I want you to look at, ignoring mods and everything else, is just look at Ezra's dodge chance. These mods are also criminal, by the way. The dodge chance is, where is it? 17.67. So by doing the 3 relic levels, I know there's quite a lot, you literally gain a 10% increase to dodge chance. And this is without all the mastery stuff going on. So you can imagine, as soon as you get a little bit of mastery, my word, it makes a big difference. Dodge chance, crit avoidance, all of these ones that go up through mastery are insanely good for the higher relics. So don't always, when you're doing high characters to high relic levels, don't always just look at the health, the protection, the offense. Pay a little attention to the crit avoidance and all of these sorts of stats, because they make a big difference. Another character, for example, which, guys, I've already done this. People haven't really come onto this one yet, but I've done this in preparation for the new Luke coming out. Stormtrooper Han. We know that he's going to be on that team, and we know he's going to be taunting basically all the time. Where is your Stormtrooper Han, actually? Let me go find this guy 1 second here, guys. He also has, he needs mods, but he also has deflection chance and dodge chance in his mastery. And he's a tank. So those little differences, that's why I took mine to R9. I'm not suggesting you guys do that, but do pay attention to the characters and their mastery stats for when you're relicking them. Because if you find those random characters that have like the really nice combo, like dodge chance on a tank, or anyone who taunts, Ezra obviously taunts, but he's not a tank. You know, anyone with crit avoidance, who's maybe a more fragile character. So guys, I've got really bad hiccups. Or maybe there's someone who also taunts, maybe there's someone who you can't have die. Having those high relic levels, getting the extra crit avoidance, and you slap a crit avoidance arrow on top, this makes a big difference. So always pay attention to them when doing high relic levels. Obviously, that's more advice for those of you who are maybe 13 to 14 mil onwards. If you're like 7 or 8 million GP, I would not advise you, other than Ezra, to go and relic just some random tank with the dodge chance. But it is something to look at. Alright, I'm on the wrong account again, aren't I? Yeah, let's go back here. That's fine. I was still making the same point, so do not worry there, guys. We're back before I start messing around too much. There we go. I think this is the account. So we're back here. We are going to take a look in a second at the mods. But first, what should you get? The answer is Leviathan for stage 1. That's the answer that we all need. Also, guys, arrow units. Everyone should be aiming for level 65 across the board. Like, just straight up. Get them all to level 65, at least then they get 12. If you can get them to 75, that's a bonus. I would say, even without spending, or even if you're free to play, if you can get to the point where you unlock more, and hopefully this stays the same for future events, I don't know if it will. So basically what we're assuming is if all future events are the same, as long as you can unlock the Journey Guide Tune at level 4 or level 5 in terms of stars, not power levels, you should be able to get the entire team to Relic. Because more will basically give you or has done with this event, given the materials needed to bump a couple of them up, and then once you get him, you should start flying through all the tiers. So I'd say aim for 65. If you have the crystal to take the team up, aim for at least 75. Because if you can skip the relics, that's going to make your life a lot easier. Ben at R10 is interesting. Ben at R10 is interesting. I don't know if I would have done it myself. That offense is nasty. It's an interesting one. Oh yeah, like I hit 2% dodge chance. That dodge chance is unreal. That's an interesting relic. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but nice to see different ones. And Then after those three, so I'm assuming you're doing all three of those, Leia, Leviathan, Balin. I'll do Leviathan first, then I'll do Leia, then I'll do Balin. And that's without even looking at your progress towards Balin. The only reason I say that is you're going to gain more from Leia, and again, being like almost 13 mil, and not having Leia is a little bit of a worrying thought to be having here. Although, you know, that GP could be bloated big time from the likes of Lightspeed bundles, so it's not something to worry about too much. Right. After that, it was Pirate King, Hondo, Glat, or JMK. JMK is probably the weakest of those three. Hondo is good. The thing with Hondo is at the moment he's being boosted a lot by his Datacron. It does, especially from a defensive point of view, it makes a big difference. And that's about to leave. Glat, on the other hand, as long as you get the modding on point and the relic levels on point and all of that, you're almost always guaranteed to have a somewhat useful defensive team. And you already have Ezra at R10. What does Genomi do? It's actually quite nice, but you need a full Rogue One team for it. I remember back in the day, like a long time ago, you could actually use this to beat Reva when Reva first released. 1 territory wars, Rogue One allies gain 30% max health, potency, and 20 speed, so speed's nice. Whenever a Rogue One ally's buff expires, Jin gains turn meter. If all allies are Rogue One, she recovers health, and then everyone gains another bonus. Crit damage up, crit immunity and taunt, evasion up. It doesn't seem like it would do a lot, but it does. And that does allow you to deal with Reva. Because if you guys remember, Reva is all about just critting everyone, and then you get the crit immunity, and then it kind of helps that. Well, I don't know if it's really used it these days, at least in high-end guilds. I'm not seeing it that much, but obviously, for those of you who are maybe in those mid-tier guilds where you need to use more of your roster and you do enjoy TW, it's not a bad cron. Omicron even. But also the other thing to bear in mind here, guys, is if you're using Jin, once you have Leia in TW and GAC as well, most people are just throwing Jin and Adrad in that team. So again, the Omicron doesn't work without all Rogue One. It's just a bit of a weird one. Not bad, but not the best. So that's what I would say. Glat, then Pirate King Hondo, then JMK. Although if you want to do JMK in between, that's fine because he doesn't have any R9s required. Also, by doing Pirate King Hondo, you're already going to have GK at R8. So that's one of the R8s done for JMK there. Obviously Leviathan, Leia, then Balin. And the R8, R9 we've already spoken about a little bit. We said Inquisitors is probably your best bet. Hondo is as well. Just finished Gungans, Afro, Great Mothers, still modding Great Mothers team. Let's go have a look at Great Mothers team. Just for some context, I started a month ago. I'm planning on getting Leia. You started a month ago. I'm hoping for the started month ago you mean you started a month ago on getting Leia, JML, Jabba. Unless you mean you're literally a month into the account and then you've just spent like crazy. That could, I mean, does it look like a Lightspeed account to you guys? Maybe I should have read that bit from the beginning. I would like some clarification. Oh, hold on, guys. Sorry, that last bit that started a month ago is actually the account below. It's just for some reason it was in the same box as the one above. So ignore that. We don't need clarification. That's fine. I was about to say, how did you get 13 mil in 1 month? Okay. Let's go have a look at Great Mothers, and then we'll move on to the next one. This is also our chance to have a little bit look at the mods, because we have spent... How long have we spent on this one, actually? How long has the stream been going? Stream has been going... What does that say? I can't even see, guys. I don't even know where the stream time even is on here. Oh, 52 minutes. And we're, what, 3 in? Yeah, we're still around about that 20 mark. So that's reasonable. Okay, so we want to look at your Night Sisters. Okay, so for Night Sisters, if you want the best Great Mothers team possible, it is going to be Great Mothers, Morgan, Death Trooper, Merrin, Night Trooper. Depending on DCs, sometimes Death Trooper is removed and Spirit comes in. But that is the best team. And I know some people will say, but Glum, Merrin in that team, Merrin is incredible in that team. Makes it so much stronger. Defensively, offensively, everything. But it's expensive. In Grand Arena and Territory War, it's not that expensive because Merrin's not as good. But you don't need Night Trooper and Death Trooper in there. You can run Spirit and you can run any of the others. But obviously that's the meta, like the best team you can run. Obviously you're going to want very good mods on Great Mothers, which you've got. And you're going to want very good mods. If you're running Spirit, they would need higher relics and good mods, but you don't have that available. So we're not going to talk about that. You're going to want good mods on whoever you put... Sorry guys, I've got hiccups again. I don't know why. Whoever you put the Blessed on wants good mods. You got it on Morgan. I'll be honest, I kind of like Morgan getting Blessed. Because certain counters, you want her to have it because it makes her immune to the instant defeats. And when she dies, the team falls apart. And that's where Merrin comes in, guys. Because Merrin... Please tell me you not got... Okay. My advice here is... Right, let's go through. This is a fantastic mod for Merrin. No, it's not. Ignore me. I looked at the secondary stats. They're amazing. Why have you got speed? Take this off. Like next time I look at your account, I want to see different mods. The secondary stats, amazing. Primary stats, terrible. Take this off. Take this off. Take this off. This one you can leave. Why not? This one, I would leave because it's not a very good mod. Reason being, guys, Merrin does not have speed. Pretend it doesn't exist. While Merrin has allies, her speed is set to 0, and she is immune to turn meter manipulation. Her speed is literally 0. She gains speed through, I think it's on her unique here, whenever an ally is inflicted with a debuff, if Merrin had 0% turn meter, dispel debuffs from the ally, and Merrin gains turn meter 25%. If Merrin has more than 0% turn meter, she gains 10% turn meter instead. Yes, you would be correct. Merrin's whole thing is she cannot gain. It's not just people dying, it's also debuffs. It's debuffs and people dying. It's just when people die, you get even more turn meter. It's down here. Merrin gains 100% turn meter, which can't be prevented the first time a Night Sister is defeated. And then after that, whenever someone's defeated or revived, she gains 15% plus 2 per relic amplifier, which is where the relics come in. But the fun thing here is with the Omicron, you also get the infinite TM or 100% TM, but you don't get that in Great Mother's team because no one's dying. So the turn meter gain in a Great Mother's team is purely from debuffs. And look, the speed's irrelevant because your speed's set to 0. It's just the percentage of TM you're gaining. And yeah, having a little bit of speed isn't a problem because these mods aren't great. But this, put it on someone better. This one, someone better. This one, again, someone better. The stats we're looking for is health or protection primaries, either or even a combination is quite nice. The reason being, Great Mothers is going to be boosting your health quite a lot. Merrin is going to be doing all the protection stuff, along with the rest of the team. And tenacity, potency is a big one. You want that. Which I know seems a bit weird because you would be saying, why do you want tenacity? Merrin likes debuffs. You don't want those thermals because you're probably using Merrin to do a jabber, right? So you don't want that. But yeah, main thing, get rid of this, go for health or protection, or crit avoidance. That's the way to go, guys, especially at R8. So my Merrin's R8, and she, should I say, has like 60, almost 60% crit avoidance. Yours is 18. Trust me, it makes a massive, massive difference to survivability, which is all it comes down to. So crit avoidance, health or protection there. Potency, tenacity, health or protection here. Health or protection, and then just whatever secondary stats. But yeah, we need to change those mods. because they can go on other people. Also, I would say get rid of the potency set and possibly run. You want your friends debuff, not yourself. Yeah, that's basically it, isn't it? Yeah, you're gonna want, ideally, I would say health and tenacity sets is probably the best. I don't know if you need health and potency. Potency's nice on her, but I think it's just personal preference. I prefer tenacity. Because unless you're someone who remods between ground arenas, if you're going to run certain counters or territory wars, you're probably running one set for your mods. And why not just run the best set for everything, which is probably the health tenacity set? Because then at least if you have to run it in a certain way, you can. Okay, Night Trooper. Okay, very fast. We're not going to look too much there. Death Trooper. Okay. Not too bad. And Morgan was the other one. We want some tenacity there, 100%. Because if you're running this on defense, your biggest enemy is buff immunity or shock. Now, you guys will know that Darth Revan beats this. Malgus lead does also beat this, but you don't even need Malgus for Darth Revan to win, which is kind of fun. Darth Revan just beats this as it is because Darth Revan puts the death mark on Great Mothers. But yeah, anyway, you want tenacity. Shock and buff immunity are your enemies. You use full tenacity sets with 3 health and 1 potency. I mean, that can also work. I mean, normally I would suggest people just health and 1 tenacity. Purely because I've looked at so many accounts now over the last couple of years, or 3 or 4 years even. And people's mod depth just isn't great. Normally, health mods you have an abundance of. Speed mods there's an abundance of. When it comes to tenacity, potency, crit chance, which are all good mod sets, by the way. Normally, I'd noticed that they just don't have as many. So that's normally why I'm not recommending lots of those sets. It's not because they don't work. If I'm like looking at someone and they have like amazing mods and they're like a big time player, yeah, it would be different advice. But for the majority of people watching, it's probably easier to go with what you have, because there's a big thing with this, you know, in Galaxy Heroes and everything, where people listen to some sort of advice, or they go on .gg and they look at the speeds and like, oh, I need to have that. And that's when let's go have a look at your mods real quick. I wonder if this is going to actually make the point I was going to make. You know, they get the 370 speed Ezra, right? Which is fantastic. But then you drop, you know, 1 or 2 down and we've lost 40 speed. Which, to be fair, in the grand scheme of things, isn't terrible. But then, you know, we drop again down to BT1 and all of a sudden 314. And I feel like, for me, that's a big drop. Like, even if you had all of these at like 350, also the speed order's a little bit funky here. I'm not 100% sure on that. At R5, I think she has 83k HP, 180%. Yeah, I mean, that's very good. Probably some good secondary stats in there as well. But yeah, I would look at the overall roster. The other thing is, if you're going to focus on one team, so it says you've been doing Afro modding, Gungans modding, Great Mother's team modding. Don't forget other teams exist. You know, if we're scrolling down, Apo needs speed, Rex needs speed, Boss Nass needs more speed. Who else needs speed? Gideon needs speed, just because you always want that. Darth Revan. I'm going to give you a pass on this one, just because you've gone for the offense modding, which I think is better, especially if you have Malgus. Although, with Darth Revan, don't be afraid to break this mod set. He only really needs the offense or the speed set. I'm not really the biggest fan of broken mod sets, but there's a few characters that can get away with it. Darth Revan is one of those. But yeah, I feel like you need to go through, look a little bit more at the characters you have hanging around. Not to say it's bad. I mean, I think some of the modding isn't great, but it can all be worked on. That's the main thing. Okay. You did the Omicrons on Balin already. That's quite nice. So, that is the end of that review. Let's go move on to the next one, guys, which is gonna be... making some good progress here. Motelbotel. This is a GAC. Oh, I love doing GAC ones, guys. I love doing GAC reviews because these ones are really fun. We can have a lot of fun with this. And we can learn a lot of stuff from this, guys. Like, seriously. Okay, you're in Carbonite too. What? You started a month ago. Okay, this is really cool. This is really cool. So we've got an account that's 1 month old. This is all Lightspeed bundles, guys. Also, look at this. Look at this. Started 1 month ago. Already gonna have all the characters relic because of the the relic delta stuff. Oh man, what is this? Okay. 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 Guys, give me 1 second here. I'm gonna find something here. I'm gonna bring up on the screen. I'm sure you guys have seen this on Reddit already before. But what I'm gonna show you guys is a really nice. Has it sent? There we go. Beautiful. Alright, let me open that. Let me come up here. Give me 1 second, guys. And let me bring this over. Alright, so this. Oh, can I zoom in? I don't know if I can, guys. I don't know if I can actually zoom in. Can you guys see this or? I don't know if you guys can see this. Is this clear enough for you guys? I don't know why I can't zoom in. As you can see, I saved it from Reddit. I hope this makes sense. Because of the journey guide events and new player stuff, this is actually applicable because you're whaling. Awesome, you can see it. I wasn't too sure if it was too small. So, when you are whaling on your characters and buying bundles, please save yourself some money. Please. Don't do any of the Inquisitors at all, especially because there is an Inquisitor bundle in the store right now. I hope you've seen this before. We'll go have a look. There's an Inquisitor bundle. That Inquisitor, not bundle, sorry, should I say, it's a calendar. And the last tier gives you a relic for an Inquisitor, which is Marek. Okay? But these are all 7-star unlocks, including the Journey Guide tunes. This is important to note. Try not to whale on any of these characters. You might have already done. We're going to have a look. But if you can avoid it, please do. Guys, I'll put like that in somewhere for you guys to see. Okay, we're going to have a look at the GAC stuff in a second, but the first thing I'm going to tell you, if you have a new account and you're spending this much money, which I say this much money, this is a lot of money spent, but if we were working out based on packs, because you basically just bought all of them, we're probably talking, what, like max 500? The thing is, you spent more than that because you've done this. So ignore the error units, look at just the characters. I think in Lightspeed bundles, maybe between 300 to 500 is my guess. My advice here is you need to be doing at least 5 mod refreshes a day. I'm going to say 5 because normally I would say 2 or 3, but when you're in this position, you're going to be growing so quick. I'm telling you now, you're also going to progress so quick. You need mods. You need mods more than ever, man. Like, you have Ray. She's actually... Like, is this actually a month? Is this really a month-old account, guys? You actually have pretty good mods. I think you're already doing that. Okay, no, they do drop off, but you have good mods. But yeah, 5 refreshes a day minimum is what I recommend. Don't know why you applied that. I hope that's a mistake. Oh no, you sorry. Did you get this through the? Guys, I haven't bought the Inquisitor bundles. Is the Omicron included there or no? Is it the Zetas or the Omicron there as well? I think it's just the Zetas, no? Because I know that for some of the characters, like Trench, the Omicrons are included. So if someone has actually bought them and they can confirm. Otherwise, they've applied Second Sister Omicron. I'm not really a fan of that. Anyways, you want to look at GAC. Let's go bring your account up in the Grand Arena. Oh, sorry guys, I had like a penny and I just rolled it. Give me 1 second here, guys. We're going to go have a look at the GAC. I mean, I'll be honest, there's not a lot in terms of what you're going to be doing that we can really look at. Unless it turns out that you're just awful at Grand Arena. I don't know. Let's bring up this, and let's change this one to your ally code. That looks like a lot of... Yeah, it's basically every single one that's come out. Okay. Guys, give me one more second. There we go. Okay. Here we go. This is your GAC scores. I went and looked. It appears it to come with the army. Yes. Okay. That's good to know. It's also really, really annoying to me, guys. I'm gonna be honest. So if you've got, say, Boba at R5, Son of Django was saying, and his Lightspeed bundle comes out at R6, you can buy it, no problem. But if you have him at R9, but you don't have the Omicrons, and a bundle comes out, you can't just buy it for the Omicrons. Don't really know how that works. Because I thought you would be able to, but you actually can't. Because that's... For me, it's worth buying it just for the Omicrons, but hey, that's another question. Alright, let's go have a look at your GAC. It's all going to be wins. We know it's all going to be wins. Let's look at where it's close. Okay, we need to be looking into the teams you're setting, because it's not like you don't have teams. This is 3v3, I know, but yeah, we need to be looking into the teams you're setting, because you are going to face some decent-ish players that, even though you have much better teams, you can get eaten alive. But then when your opponent's using Drogon lead, what can you say? I don't know. It's a weird one. Let's have a look at a different league. It's not really a lot we can really learn from this one, is there? Give me a second here, guys. Let's go have a look at one of the recent ones. No one's even attacking you. Oh, it's so painful. Alright, Balin at least is good there. Starkiller on Rey. I don't know what I can really tell you about the I'm not even gonna look at that anymore. I don't really know what to tell you about Grand Arena, because you have like everything. What I would say is just appreciate you're gonna climb really quick. As long as you have the mods, you can climb even quicker. With an account like this, guys, I know lots of you are gonna be thinking, "Wow, this guy's straight to Kyber." I don't necessarily think so, because don't forget that everyone buys Lightspeed bundles these days. And then in between that, you have all the really cool free-to-play players who have really cool accounts as well. So they're like hiding in between everything that goes on are those free-to-play players. You're in Cup 5 and you saw that, man, you wouldn't attack either. No, I do understand that. But I'm just saying, 7 mil these days isn't crazy. It sounds like it. I mean, this is an account that will probably go to Erodium. And then unless you're like really talented, I don't know if this is your first time playing, or if it's like a second account, that would be a different question. But if it's your first time playing, you are going to get to the point where you probably are going to get stuck. You probably are going to get stuck. And when that does happen, there's not really too much you can do. That's why we need to work on the teams you should be setting on defense. Which we are going to focus on the likes of your GL, so Rey. Where I'm going to suggest that you build a team for her for Grand Arena. Because as you would have seen from you attacking... I'm assuming you don't have knowledge of the game because of your 1 month thing, but if you do have knowledge, that's a different thing. But I'm going to go on the assumption that you don't. Rey without a good team is not particularly great. So you would want to work on a good team for her. In terms of what that would be, you're probably going to want to run the likes of Rey. Is this really a 1 month account? You have Zucker's there. Or was that through the... That might have been through Mark. When did Zucker's release? That was ages ago. I don't know. I mean, on your message it said that you haven't been playing 1 month. And you're getting layer Jabba. Yeah, we've seen the layer Jabba JML stuff when we looked at the last account, and I made a mistake reading. I don't know. Work on a Rey team. Go for this. Build it around her. Offensively, you got the GLs, Jabba as well. Obviously, if you're serious about Grand Arena, Datacrons. You're doing a pretty good job. I would actually recommend going for the focused crons over these crons for the next few sets. Reason being, if you don't have many teams, you want the biggest advantage possible. Focus crons tend to have that. They're harder to level up, but they have better level upgrades. Look at the Boba Cron guys. But more importantly, they have fixed stats. Oh, okay, I didn't realize that. I probably didn't see the event because I have him. So that's interesting. So yeah, if you're farming Datacrons or your new account, go for the focused over the randoms. Because these ones, you don't know what stats you're going to get, and they're annoying to reroll early on. These ones, at least you know what you're going to get. Obviously, when you get to the point where you can farm them normally, and you're in hard mode conquest and all of that, I'm assuming you might not even be hard mode because you haven't beaten normal. Or maybe you beat normal last month, but either way, that's something you need to work on as well. But when you get to that point, then yeah, we can farm more Datacrons. But at the moment, just focus on these focused crons. Honestly, this is a really cool account. Lots of progress through Lightspeed bundles, obviously. Try to rewatch it, look and screenshot that image. I'll try and link it somewhere as well. I don't want you to waste any money. That's all there. I know you only get them at Relic 0, but you get them Relic 0 and all the Zetas. So you can save yourself some money there. Also nice to get, you know, CLS up and running. And all of like Grandmaster Yoda and all of this, which you may or may not already have. So there's some benefits there. Also, just bear in mind, by doing those events, you also get the other Lightspeed token, which you can use on anyone of your choice. So you could use it for any Jedi, any Rebel, anything like that. I would honestly recommend in your situation, if you're farming Leia, go for any of the Leia ones. Which is going to be the likes of Drogon. I don't know if you already have Drogon, but Drogon, 3PO, Chewie, anyone like that is going to help you a bunch. R2 will obviously be taken. Don't gear him, because R2 is going to go straight to Relic through the tokens that you're going to unlock soon. Okay, let's move on to the next review. Guys, I don't know how long we're going to stream for today, because it's almost midnight already. So I feel like we may only do maybe one, maybe two more reviews today, because they're going quite quick. And time is passing. And I still got some editing to do before I head off to bed tonight. So let's do maybe one more, depending on how long we'll do two. Okay. So this is an overall less detailed one. It is for Zeriel 21. So if you're here, I don't know if you are. There's only a few of you watching today. I do appreciate it nonetheless. You guys are awesome. So let's just put this here. Oh, you're here. Cool. I thought I saw your name earlier. Yeah, you've been listening the whole time. Awesome. Any context would be great. Just direct me on what you want to know. 2.9 million GP is really cool. Balin unlocked is awesome. JKCK is amazing. Relic levels, for the most part, is pretty good. You're making use of the new relic stuff. That's why you got Hermit Yoda for sure. I see you're more of an efficiency guy. That's my first impression anyways. I like that you've done Merrin. I like that you've taken her up. 10 minutes old, free to play. That's an alt account. Been focusing on more stuff, and long term will be Lord Vader. Nice, nice. Lord Vader is decent for free to play players, despite what anyone says. Obviously, the best overall defensive galactic legend in the game, I would say, is between Glat and Rey, and I'm pretty sure everyone here will agree with that to some extent. I would argue Rey gets the edge, just because if you're going grand scheme of things, she can be used with literally any light side, whereas Glat's kind of a little bit more limited. Emphasis on little there. Lord Vader's always up there as well, and the benefit of Lord Vader is his team is way more accessible than Rey's best team. Because Rey's best team relies on Datacrons, relies on Barriss, relies on the likes of Ben, relies on the likes of Cal, the likes of Ezra, etc, etc. So basically, for Rey to have her best team possible, we're taking so much away from other teams to get that. And as a free-to-play player, you're also a long, long way off having a lot of those characters, right? So going for Lord Vader is not a bad decision at all, because he almost always has it. Like, maybe every other month he's got an OP Datacron set. And unless you're in Kyber 1, Kyber 2, he's insane. Guys, I'm gonna bring up the data here just to show you. And my main issue for Vader is that his team isn't part of his requirements. That I do agree. But also, his team now basically unlocks you a very decent character. I know people don't like the new Mace that much, and I can kind of understand why. But it's not a bad team to have, right? So just think of it that way. You know, you're getting a decent 3v3 team in Tarkin clones. You're getting Mace. No, it's too late. I'm just drinking water today. It's too late for the tea. Tomorrow we'll do tea during the stream. So, I'm trying to bring up the data here for Lord Vader on defense. And I'm just going to do any and all teams. And I'll bring this over so you guys can see the data that we're looking at. I'm planning to do a big Grand Arena team breakdown video soon. Okay, so Lord Vader in general in Kyber is, let's change the hold percent. Holds 36% of the time, right? In Erodium, we are looking at 29% of the time. Just bear in mind, these numbers will be skewed because the lower down you go, the less the Lord Vader's relic and all of that, and the more that Bo will run rampant. 34% in Chromium, Bronzium 52%, and Carbonite 82%. So, you know, if you're someone that's relatively newer to the game, you know, it could easily take 2-3 years for someone who's not super competitive, and I'm not saying this about you, by the way, Zerial, but just in general, to reach, you know, Erodium, Kyber. It can take some people, you know, a couple of years. Lord Vader, for, you know, the most part of that is just going to be holding, just when you Grand Arena after Grand Arena. JKCK will always get you a good guild. That's really well done. Drink the water out of a mug. Next time, buddy. Next time we'll do that. Right now, that would be impossible. But yeah, Lord Vader is incredible defensively. And if you do invest in the team, I just want to show you guys this. So let's go back to Kyber. Because honestly, guys, Mace is... What happened there, guys? Anyone know? Did it just autocorrect when I did that? Alright, there. Oh. I don't embarrass. Sorry, guys. Alright, so just bear in mind, if you are farming for... If you're farming for Lord Vader's team, you're probably at least going to have these two. There's no reason why you can't have Ayla, and there's no reason why you can't have anyone else. So, we're now looking at win percent. You can beat some decent teams. It's not going to be, you know, game-changing, but you can beat those Gungans occasionally. Remember, this is Kyber. You can beat CLS teams if you see them, Trench teams if you see them, Bad Batch if you see that, Phoenix, Night Sisters, Maul, Afra teams, all of these you can beat pretty reliably. And if we take it out of Kyber and we look at the lower leagues, you can see that, you know, other teams, Gas will pop up. Like, I'm not saying it's not the best team ever, don't get me wrong. But if you farm Lord Vader's team, you're getting a current raid team, well, 2 current raid teams, which is good. And you're getting decent Jedi, which you would put under, if you don't have him yet, I would always recommend you run Quebec or someone else there. Again, you do Quebec League, you're going to be beating some cool teams there. And then at the end, you're going to have a decent team. Jedi Master Mace Windu without Jocasta is nowhere near as good, but guys, he's not terrible. He's not terrible, and that is one that I will die on. I think he's a solid middle tier character. He's not the best, he's not the worst. He reminds me a lot of GI, pre-GI getting Reaver. And we know there's another TB planet coming at some time, because we got the platoon. There's the platoon leaks in the files or in .gg where you can see all the new characters releasing or have released from the past eras all have TB, a platoon required, like as like a stamp. So I'm assuming we're going to get some sort of event roll around and it's going to be like maybe another Jedi Vanguard to fill that team out. Because, I mean, Ayla's on the team at the moment, but I don't think she'd necessarily... I feel like maybe they could go somewhere else with that. But yeah, anyway, the point was going to be Lord Vader's good if you can do it, even as a free-to-play player. And I know we spoke about the problem with Lord Vader being everything else going on. You know, all the other farms, all of that is quite expensive. It's not his team. But you are... Think of it not as getting his team for doing his farm. Think of using his farm to then progress 3 more teams. You're going to get Jedi Master Mace Windu. You're going to get clones up and running. And that is a big deal. You know, Tarkin in 3v3, that would give you like 4 teams. You would have Quebec as a team. You would have Jedi Master Mace Windu as a team. And on top of that, you're also going to have Tarkin clones and then Lord Vader as a team. So basically, what? You're getting like 5 teams? 4 or 5 teams from that. And then in 5v5, you're going to be getting 2 solid teams. Which is Lord Vader clones and everything else. Obviously, I know as you progress further and further, he's not going to be as good. But again, if you're free to play, you care about Grand Arena, you care about Territory Wars, you're clearly in a good guild, take your time, farm at least, if you have one good team, so it's Lord Vader, you put it on defense in Territory Wars or Grand Arena, just farm 1 cron. Just 1 data cron, put it on him, and at least contribute towards your guild's success. That's my other recommendation. Okay. Rant over. JKCK is a side project. I would honestly recommend almost every new player pick JKCK or Bo-Katan and Mandalore. Pick one of the 2, farm them up. Best thing is, Bo-Katan Mandalore is currently going to be easier than ever to get free to play because IG and 12 and Grogu you can get from the Mandalorian pack. Quebec's given to you. Beskar Mando's given to you, meaning you only have to farm, what, 1 character, which is Paz? And relic him, and then you get Poe. So she's easier than ever. I reckon new free-to-play accounts can probably have her in under 9 months. Because obviously that event doesn't come around until, what, June, July time. But that's always good. So from a free-to-play perspective, that's something I'd work on as well. Rewind the video if you haven't already seen it. Just screenshot the little thing I showed. Just so you can have a better idea of all the characters that are going to release. Yes, and a free... Yeah, you can use that on Paz then. I didn't even pay attention to the Mandalorian token. Again, free to play. Look at that. Almost everyone gear 12. That is perfect. Now, in the best world, and I'm actually going to do some research into this. I've seen some threads on Reddit, but I always like to look at these myself as well in my free time and just double check stuff. And also, sometimes people just go the efficiency route and they look at like just the raw numbers in terms of efficiency output. When the way I always look at things, and it's slightly different, is I look at there's efficiency, but there's also fatigue. And if you play the game too efficient or too focused, it's very easy to fatigue yourself and get bored for a lot of people. I know that not everyone can play that way. So I'm going to look into it because I don't know if it will be worth it in the future to hoard crystals to either 4-star or 5-star at least the characters. It'll cost what, like maybe 20,000 crystals, but you would have what, like maybe 3-4 months in total to do that. That's not unreasonable. And that will give you lightspeed tokens, and that's where the fatigue part comes in, because if you're getting these, that gives you progression here. That's one thing, but it also gives you the tokens, which is going to kind of buy you back the time for the farms you're missing out on. I don't know. I don't want to get into that debate now because I know that some people watch the channel and they're like very much efficiency focused. But it's just something to think about. I'm curious what lightspeed tokens or you've been going for with the event ones. So we've got Rebels. Let's try and work out who you did here. I'm assuming you did Kyle. And from the Jedi one, who did we do? I think you did Hoda. That's interesting. For me, I would have done slightly different. I would have gone Saw from the Rebels, and I would have gone Kyle from the Jedi, because Hermit Yoda, I know that everyone says Hermit Yoda is annoying to farm, that's true. But Kyle has a ship, so you want him at Relic, and the Rebel fleet is fantastic free to play. And the Rebels, Saw is actually not that bad, and if you mod him well and use him in lower GAC tiers, and you have him with Drogon, which you don't have later, so that's fine, and if you have him with Kyle, he will hold, and you get 2 free Zetas. Think of it that way. And also JKCK, but you already had him get 12. But hey Dalton, welcome to the stream, buddy. We're going to be ending soon, so don't get too comfy. That's not to say to go, do stay and hang around, but yeah, we're getting towards the end of the stream here. And then obviously you got your Empire tokens coming up, so I'm curious who you're going to go for there. When you finish your Inquisitors. And then obviously you got your Inquisitor token as well on top of that, which will be separate. Just remember it won't include any of the newer stuff. Iden's not bad. Iden's not a bad shout. I was trying to think, who would I do from the Empire tokens? Iden is a good shout. I don't know if she's what I would go for though. Do you know who would be a really good? Do you know who would be a really good one to go for from Empire? Go for Scout Trooper, and the reason being, Scout Trooper is a layer requirement, and that's kind of all there is to it. You could go Iden, you could go Scout Trooper, one of those two. Iden is actually a really good shout though. Then you're gonna have you're doing Scout Trooper because yeah, exactly. Scout Trooper is good for that reason. You're gonna have your Rebel, not Rebel token. What other tokens do we have again? We have, I can't remember. Scoundrel token, Bounty Hunter token, something like that. Anyway, we have more, but they're quite a few months away. Since I want to do different stuff in this account, I don't really want to do layout. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Honda, that's also fair. I like it. Anyway, I really like this account. I really do. I'm interested to see where you take it. I really am. Yeah, there's a bounty hunter one, no? Let me pull up that. Right, hold on, guys. Let me pull up that image that I had before. Okay. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but it's on the screen. Bounty hunter. There we go. So you get Bosk, Boba, Dengar, Fennec, and IG. And you're going to get a faction, Bounty Hunter token, Journey Guide, Chewbacca. And then the last one is Mando, Grief, IG, Quill, Kara. And that one is going to give you a Mandalorian token and Beskar Mando. And then we have one other one, which is the droid token. Sorry, that is the CLS one. Which, I don't know. That's a bit of a weird one because there's no droids on that team. But hey. It's droid with a... Yes, I know. It kind of confuses me, the way they've done that. But still. Don't forget to speed check. See, we'll go have a look at that in a second. I'm kind of excited now that you've said that. Alright, anyway. That is... that. Let's go have a look at speeds. And then we'll probably end... for today. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the content as of late, at least. There's plenty more to come. That's all I'm going to say, guys. There's plenty more to come. Droid will be BT1. Afro will be up fairly soon. BT1's not a bad one. For me, if I was going to do it, it would be 3PO and Chewie. Just because you get in the CLS team. So you don't have to farm Han. And then 3PO and Chewie would go on that team. That's why I would do them. But I can see... is the light side not dark? Wait, hold on. You talking about the droid tokens only light side, or can you use them dark? I don't know. All right, Master Qui-Gon. Let's have a look at the speeds. I also like that you got him up and running 350. Master Qui-Gon's amazing. You guys know that I like seeing Qui-Gon, Padawan, Obi-Wan nice and early. Great Mothers, amazing speed. Afra is very good. Her problem is late game, but the new droid is going to solve half those problems, guys. But do bear in mind, now is a time more than ever to be taking Afra up the relic levels, because the new droid is going to be getting... Not the new droid, sorry. The new droid is going to be marking Afra's droid she summons. And obviously that's scaling stats based on Afra, so having a high relic Afra is going to be very important. Again, that's a really nice kit that's going to come out and look pretty good. Echo's here. Okay, you know what? free to play, 10 months in, these are pretty good mods. I would say just run 4 of them. I don't think you would need a 5th. But if you want to run a 5th, OG Vader is probably going to be the best. Also, if you're a free-to-play player, sorry for going on a thing here, if there's one character you need to go full in here, has to be the new Vader. Also, Empire, Mara Jade is another one. That's a really nice one to go for, because Mara is just Mara. But the new Vader, I would say, would be 100% worth the investment. Over all of them, if you can get one, even free-to-play, I don't know if you can do it, but get one above the 65, new Vader. Because they are going to be insane. Their kit is nuts. And they look like they can be pretty cool defensively and go on a pretty cool team. Also, anyone who does Lord Vader or did Lord Vader in the past and has a Royal Guard High Relic, fear no more. New Vader's coming in and making it useful again. That I love. Anyways, back to the main topic, which was the roster at hand. Speeds are looking pretty good. I am liking them. Pretty cool account. I like the progress. Ships, we're going to have a very quick look. I would like to see a little bit more investment on Drogon. I know that he's gear 12, but I would like to see him at Relic because B-Wing is that good. I'd also like to see you investing in the best Rebel fleet. I think it's probably the best early free-to-play fleet. I know some people will probably disagree with me, maybe say Galactic Republic, all of this. For me, the best fleet free-to-play at the moment, outside of the big three, has to be Home One. Raven's Claw, B-Wing, Biggs, Biston are the ones to go for. Get the pilots all to at least gear 12, and if you can, get Drogon to at least Relic. Even though he's not dark side, of course, seems to have a lot of synergy with Afra. A little bit. I think Quill and IG are going to end up going on the Sign of Django team. I know you don't have him. I'm also interested to know if we're ever going to get to the point where they make the older Conquest characters more accessible, free to play. It'd be interesting to see if that happens maybe this year. I don't know. Anyways, guys, we have been streaming for, an hour and a half. We've done quite a few rosters today. I would love to go for longer, but I am tired and have some more stuff to do. So I'd like to thank you all for coming today. It's been pretty fun, guys. I'm going to be completely honest. I've enjoyed it. So hopefully I see you guys tomorrow when we do even more not reviews, GAC. That's the one. Thank you all for coming today, guys. I'm just trying to sort out the who we're gonna raid. Who are we gonna raid? There's no one to raid. That's so sad. I looked. There's no one doing so good at the moment. Anyways, guys, thank you all for coming. And yeah, I will. I'll catch you guys in a bit. I did see the last messages. I'll put some comments in the chat and all of that. All right. See you later, guys. Thank you. Have a glowing day. All right, there we go.